Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we are finally gonna get to do some more snooping on Fortress Accident, now that we have the password. Well, I assume it's the same password for here. I don't know where the fuck I'd find it otherwise. Okay, we've got the off-site copy now, but first, a word from our sponsors.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The speaker comes to life.
Good evening, Fortress. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Good.
Really? She just used the same password?
The lieutenant seems almost disappointed to discover that, as he murmurs,
Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
evidently, yeah, like I said before, password safety is not exactly, well, not exactly a top priority here, evidently. Given this, and, well, even the password itself is, oh well.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft...
Yada yada yada. Alright, print that bitch.
With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface.
Okay, first of all, no it didn't. A quiet determination, huh? Quiet here, meaning we didn't actually bother to make an animation for this.
It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident.
I am aware.
The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule.
Read about capital. I want to know about money. Read about the workforce, who worked there, how long, skim through the production schedule, whatever it is. Tear off the printout and throw it away. I wonder if I could tear off the printout, throw it away, and then print out another one and do that over and over again until we fill the room. Probably not. The fill the room part anyway. We could probably keep doing it endlessly and it wouldn't do anything. Let's see. Read about the workforce. Who worked there? How long? Is a Chinese name.
Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts.
The bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. Wait a second. Writers I can understand, but concept artists? Wasn't this a radio game? I mean, I could understand having a couple of them, but why were they making up the bulk of the team? I feel like you'd need more sound engineers and radio programmers than you would need concept artists, but okay.
And a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations.
One single producer? And what? 5 or 6 concept artists? What the fuck were they thinking? Yeah, I can imagine he was overburdened. Fucking hell. They've got more fucking marketing experts than producers. Builder, preserve me.
Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists?
Good fucking question, Logic. I was gonna ask you that. Why did a radio game need so many artists? I'm not saying there's no use for artists in a radio game, but fucking what?
It didn't.
Yeah. My thoughts exactly.
No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skipped work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules.
I mean, I can relate to the sleep schedule thing, but I mean, that's part of why I'm getting involved in the whole YouTube thing, because I can set my own hours, so to speak. You'd think being a writer would also be something like that, though, for very similar reasons to why making videos would be, but oh well. But regardless, yeah, a few more producers would have done them a lot more good. But I guess they were working with whatever random bozos they could get their hands on. Or maybe they were all friends, I don't know.
One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good.
Okay, they probably weren't all friends then. That's... I mean... I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying friends would never do that, but... yeah. Read about capital. I want to know about money.
In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Riyal, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Riyal, with only half of the game finished.
Wow, that is a number that I have no context whatsoever for. Gosh, where did they get all this money? Gosh.
Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor.
Their what? Encyclopedia, you're not gonna chime in on what the fuck that iguanogen means? God damn it. What's my encyclopedia at the moment anyway? 8. Yeah. Either even encyclopedia has no fucking clue, or I need to get it to, I don't know, 9, 10, 12 maybe? I might be able to get it to 10. Maybe not. Anyway, skim through the production schedule, whatever it is.
The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy.
Because of the concept artists?
Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers, with their panic attacks and 3-hour lunches.
3-hour lunches. Blimey.
It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team.
Was there no, like, smaller version of this that they could have created first? First of all, to see if it would actually fucking work at all. And second of all, to rake in the profits and, more importantly, establish an audience to attract more investors and that sort of thing. Although apparently they had plenty of investors. See, but that's, you know, one of the issues with a lot of indie game developers and what have you. They try and make their dream project and wind up getting choked on their own ambition. I mean, just a great example of someone who didn't do this is Toby Fox, the guy who invented Undertale. Undertale was not his dream project. It was a very stripped down concept adjacent to what he wanted that he created to, well, build his skills and his audience and his moolah, and it fucking worked, alright? Obviously he is looked out severely compared to the average indie game developer, but still. You see smaller scale equivalents of this all around. And what you don't see is all of the people with grand ambitions who try their hand at them first and then never actually created anything at all. Anyway.
They tried to make a 4 million real game with 400,000 in their bank account.
Yeah, and like I was saying, not just the money either. The expertise, the experience, the audience. Though they didn't have any of those either. Maybe they had some of those, but not nearly enough.
They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination.
And they couldn't. To no one's surprise except theirs. And I'm not saying there's no way to bridge the gap, but that ain't it.
They couldn't.
I could have bridged the gap. Maybe. You might very well be exactly the kind of lunatic that could pull that off, Harrier. But probably not. You know what, fuck it. I could have bridged the gap.
No, you couldn't have.
Wait, impossible 18, huh? Huh. Wait, what would you have said if I had succeeded on that check? Maybe with enough volition I could have. I don't know. What do you mean? I totally could have.
Definitely not.
And maybe with enough conceptualization. I guess those represent pure willpower and imagination, then. Although, is that a matter of with enough of those I could have? Or is that a matter of with enough of those I could convince myself I could have? Because I've seen what it says about having excessively high amounts of certain skills. But never mind.
Not a chance. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared.
Oh. Is that right? I mean, yeah, even if they didn't completely succeed, they could still potentially have put out a working product. Something that they could put onto the market in a more limited way and get people interested. Get people paying them money. That's the main thing. But that comes with getting people interested. Both the audience and the investors. Yeah, I see what you mean. They could still have been successful ultimately if they had been able to ride that wave. If they could just catch that wave. But I'm guessing there is a but coming up right here.
That is until they discovered the Valley of the Heads.
Again, the what?
At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Suliswav Jalisa, decided that what Wirral Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map.
Okay, that doesn't sound like a terrible idea on the face of it. Pretty niche, but Easter eggs are fun. So long as they don't consume too much development time, of course. Because obviously you don't want to consume loads of development time and all that for a niche thing that probably most players won't even encounter. But yeah, it could be fun.
This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor.
What? What the fuck did you just say to me? What the fuck were you smoking? And what the fuck was the rest of the team smoking to even consider this shit? Salt before. What? This is some insane shit. Some clinical psychosis shit. Who were these people?
The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again.
Good. How many heads were there?
So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined.
Oh, naturally. I mean, that's only a casual, what is that, a billion combinations? No, 100 million. Off by 10, whatever. Yeah, 100 million. Yeah, how many combinations could you make out of that? 100 million, I guess, or...
Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while.
Yeah, how bad could it be? Oh. I'm not quite certain I understand the math here, but sure, I'll take your word for it. Oh, it's still going. Wow. How the fuck are you even keeping track of this, Harrier Dubois? Fucking hell. Uh-oh.
The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight against his chest.
Oh, don't worry, Kim. Time is frozen. I wonder how long this would be taking me if time wasn't frozen. Would each of these be like half an hour? What have I done? Yeah, I really don't understand the mathematics going on here, but okay. I think I might have trapped myself in an infinite loop. Either that or it's just a really stupidly long.
What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop?
Oh wait, it's the computer calculating it. Just let the numbers wash over you. Oh, a bunch of zeros.
That's it.
Okay. So that's what did them in?
Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, this must be the anomaly Suna mentioned in the church log.
On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness, before the Egonian investors pulled the plug.
Whatever that is.
What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the World Untethered project was being compiled that day.
And the anomaly caused all the data to get lost in the air?
When the project was returned, it was completely blank.
And somehow the backup too.
The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
What? They lost the whole game and wouldn't even pay for it?
Always read the terms of service. And let's face it, they didn't have any money left for a legal action.
Yeah, I'll bet. Wasn't there a copy of the game? A backup?
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the offsite copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred.
Indeed.
It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the offsite copy and, well, Keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached.
What does it say?
S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me. Not after 8 months of crunch.
What does that even mean? What the fuck kind of explanation is that?
I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal.
Didn't have a home anymore. Does that... Are you speaking literally or metaphorically? I can't tell. But... it's not very convincing, is it?
Her former colleagues would agree with you.
Is there anything else from this lead programmer?
The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later.
Let's read them then.
4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye.
It's a bit dramatic.
Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said.
I guessed as much.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework.
Yeah. Anyway. Just wanna check something real quick. Damn. I only have a +1 to encyclopedia that I can give. Well, that was certainly illuminating, I suppose. Okay then.
Tiles on the cube. The filament.
Here we go. The off-site copy. Let's see if there's anything left in this thing.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Nope. Jack
The
shit.
filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Unless I've got a... Wait.
Like a smooth nothing happens.
Right, okay,
The filament slides out of it like a...
I've got a... Obvious. Yeah, hang on.
The speaker.
Good evening, please repeat.
Just...
Good. No, that's not it.
Shit!
Maybe it's the second part of the leitmotif you saw on the stained glass window.
Good point, conceptualization. That seems like exactly the kind of awful password they would use. That's probably the first thing I would try. After death, life again.
Good. I've unlocked the offside copy.
Alright.
Ka-ching.
Ka-ching indeed.
Fortress Accident is thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still. It sounds like something cracks before the piece of paper starts filling up with pure black ink.
Yeah, okay.
The paper is soaked with ink, its monochrome darkness spanning from margin to margin. It's not possible to make out any information.
Not probable. But, hold on. What happened? It's just covered in ink.
Odd.
The lieutenant runs his hand over the ink-soaked paper, staining his fingertips.
Something is obviously broken here.
Indeed. Fortunately, I am Harrier Dubois.
A single speck of white shines out from the shade. For some reason, the printer decided to spare this one tiny dot of paper.
Ooh. Here we go. Time to pull some real Dick fucking Mullins shit on this.
marked by the devil itself.
Sure, why not?
This must be the information Sorna is looking for. She knows how to make sense of it.
Oh. Oh, I was kind of hoping I would be able to make any sense of it, but okay. Okay then.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering.
Hey, yeah. Oh, it just said tear off the printout, not tear it off and throw it away. I wonder if that means
The
anything.
filaments.
I didn't get it, did I? Alright, well that was not quite as illuminating as I had hoped, considering I had to succeed on a perception check and multiple passive checks for that lack of information. Oh well. I wonder if I... Hang on. Nope. Should probably go to places I've already been every so often to find these little bubbles. Poor animals. No rest for their bodies after death. Whatever. Sucks to be them. Oh. Is this Contact Mike, the boxing champion? Oh. Maybe. The store on the other side is closed for the night. Come back tomorrow? Nah. Damn. I wonder... Hang on. There was that... Was it physical instrument? Something like that, anyway. Tomorrow... You know what I should do tomorrow? I should start going around and buying everything I can get my hands on. I've got a lot of cash now. And I'll be getting more. A lot more. I assume. Wow, that's it. Seriously.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Noticed colors? Okay. Let's try it. Fuck it. We ball. Shit. I'm gonna die horribly, aren't I? Oh, yup. Ow.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous.
Not even
Your
close.
hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form.
Not even close. Bloody hell.
See? See? This place is cursed.
Shut up. This is cursed. That is cursed. Everything is cursed. Fuck you, you stupid barbell. Seems like I'm a little out of shape. Maybe. Or maybe these gloves just suck. Both things can be true. These don't seem particularly good for weightlifting. Certainly not what I would use. Whatever. I mean, maybe better than nothing, but whatever. Weightlifting is for the intellectually impaired anyway. Or just say nothing. I'm tempted to just say nothing. Yeah, let's just admit that I'm a little out of shape. It costs me nothing. It's clearly true.
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford a better grip.
Well, I could take a healing item, but it's nighttime. I'm probably gonna be going to bed not long from now anyway. And well, let's just hope I don't keel over dead. And hey, at least we had some success with physical shit today. Here we go. Wow. You're up late. Like I'm one to talk. No, wrong gloves. Wait, no, that's half-light, not shivers. Do I have anything that increases shivers? Oh, right, yeah, that. That was a weird way to say that. -2 physical instrument. Good thing it's not -2 endurance, or that would just straight up kill me. Okay. Now then.
Oh, it's you again.
Ooh.
Are you looking for a die?
Yes, I'm looking to die. Anyway, wow, I've actually got pretty decent odds. Fucking A. Yeah, I mean, two more pieces of equipment that increase shivers plus this certainly helped there. Why hasn't her business failed? Come on. Let me succeed at something that matters today. Come on.
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Exactly enough. Perfection. Outside the building, huh? Oh, I see. Oh, that's cute. This is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know why your business hasn't failed.
Didn't we already talk about this?
She asks, as the wind continues to seep in through the cracks in the old chimney. It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area. Is that really it? Spared by an ancient curse on a technicality? How marvelous.
What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guérin 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up, yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
No. This used to be a coal plant. Touch the safety curtains. You're in a chimney of another building.
This doesn't make any sense.
She looks around the makeshift nest that she has carved out for herself, bewildered.
Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm just using logic. It's windy in here. You probably haven't properly sealed the chimney crown. Point above. You should probably get on that.
You're right. I should take a trip to the roof once the snow is gone. Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
Well, I don't know about that.
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces.
Actually, it's only your workshop that's protected. You should still do something to defend your person. Also, there's the fact that, well, as it says here, no one's really ever safe from the failure. The failure. No one's ever really safe from failure.
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
What?
Do you know what this is?
She raises her hand to reveal a piece of metal shining on her index finger. A lucky charm? A 70s ward? It looks like a regular piece of jewelry to me.
It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East out the Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents.
Oh?
I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan.
Hey, at least you lasted, some portion of a year. That's more than some business owners last. But hey, see? The curse is real. I bet you didn't run this little jewelry shop from the protective depths of the chimney.
No, you're right. I didn't.
She laughs again, but it sounds rather small and sad.
It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed.
I mean, I guess you did. And it is.
And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney?
Don't call it a dump. You made it nice and cozy here.
Yeah.
She stares out of the window, not really hearing your words.
Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls.
Violent? It's an odd phrasing.
It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending, or an entirely different world.
She picks up a pair of dice from the table and examines them under the light. That's not true, though. That's just the illusion. There never was an alternative ending. Even if you don't have the skills to ensure that the dice always come up a certain way, like I do, with some dice anyway, they'll come up a certain way regardless.
But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
She gives you a tired smile. The Precarious World. Temporary research bonus, all red checks fail. Fucking hell. Seems like the point of this game is victory. The absence of defeat on all fronts. Victory in business ventures and creative undertakings. Victory in love and over other people. Political victory, ideological victory, hell, even sexual victory. Definitely a lot of object-based victories too. Having things and not losing them. One problem though, not a lot of victors in sight. Everyone's mostly losing. Why is that? And how do you not lose? Is that the point of the game? I thought the point of this game was communist propaganda. I mean, it failed in that, but never mind. The Precarious World, huh?
Yes, what is it?
About the offsite copy you asked me to bring.
Yes?
Got it.
Thanks. Looks like it's the one.
She takes the filament, inspecting the metallic tape on its side. What's going to happen now?
Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
She's already inserted the filament into the radio computer's core, ready to close the door. Don't waste your time printing it out. It's nothing but a speck of white in a sea of ink. It's broken. Sure, let's tell her all about our snooping. Why not?
A speck of white? That's exactly what I'm hoping to find.
She sounds excited as the filament clicks into place. What do you mean?
Lintel was able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
Yeah, story of my life.
The paper gets soaked in ink again, its evil blackness shining in the light of the mainframe. It looks eerie. It's the abyss staring back at you.
Poetic. Something's very wrong with that filament memory. Yet no shit. Play it cool. Now what?
Sorna doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the millimeters.
Her morning star. Also known as not actually a star, but actually a planet, Venus, but Oh well. Maybe in this world it is a star.
Here, I found it.
She suddenly says, rising her ink-stained fingertip. Rising? I think you mean raising. It's that white dot, in the same place I saw it before when I printed it out. That means it's consistent. Good.
Hold on.
She's behind the keyboard now, typing in some numbers that only she understands. The terminal beeps. Beep. And the light inside starts pulsing like a glowing heart. So, not very much like a heart then. Okay.
Just give me a second. I'm almost...
Yeah, I was. She clocks up her typing speed. Clocks up.
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Well then, behold, Kim, behold.
Done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly.
Suna jumps up from the keyboard like a spring. There's joy in her voice as she bumps her fist into air. Oh shit, you did it? You found the coordinates?
I found the coordinates.
Fucking A.
She's beaming. You can feel it in your heart.
Oh my god. Congratulations.
Thank you.
She yells back with a grin. Alright, so where is it? Where is your 2mm hole in the world?
There. In the swallow.
She points at the other end of the church where a group of water bowls forms a ritualistic arch.
Think you can help me again?
She tilts her head, eyes sparkling. Do I have a choice? Probably. Sure, of course. I'm more than happy to help.
I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals, solving the puzzle of water bowls.
I genuinely can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not, Logic. Right, I'll go figure it out. I'm good at intellectual puzzles. I assume.
Figure it out?
I mean, I am a detective. She shakes her head, grinning.
No. I don't need you to figure anything out. I've got a computer for that.
She pats the mainframe.
Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bowl 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bowl 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
You got a ruler? Or some other sort of measuring device? I'm not certain I can be that precise.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions. Nothing intellectually stimulating. In this task, a child could do it.
What, you don't trust my intellectual capabilities to solve this problem on my own? Sure, let's be petulant.
Come on. It's not about your brain. Even I couldn't figure it out on my own.
She frowns. Fair enough.
Can you please just go and move the water bowls for me? Thanks.
Okay. Can do. I assume. Okay. What did she say again? Why did you go to
It's
that one?
awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside those walls. Water inside the bowls stands still.
I look like I'm bald right now.
Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor.
Oh, good. Okay.
It moves like a ghost without creating a single trace of sound. This task is an insult to your mental skills.
Fuck you, Logic.
Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall.
You can't even... God fucking damn it. Okay, whatever. You're lucky I've got so much volition, so it hardly even matters.
Yes, what is it?
I have moved the bowls. It was mind-numbingly easy. What's next?
Great. Everything should be aligned now.
She stops, biting into her chapped lip. Should drink some water.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
What's wrong? Oh, I just realized I forgot to change my clothes back. Damn it. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones.
Oh, no. It doesn't sound like nothing. But sure.
If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes.
Wait, why did you have your headphones on mute in the first place?
Honestly, I'm a little scared.
She's avoiding your gaze. Yeah, understandable. Isn't it going to be just silence and nothing else?
I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything.
She stares at the heart of her computer. Yeah. Or maybe it couldn't be anything.
I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist?
She turns to face you, the mainframe throwing shadows on her chin. Yeah. It's crazy to think that you were only like a few centimeters away from a couple of the bowls this whole time. Or at least as of late.
What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is...
She grows silent, her face very pale in the cold light of electricity. What?
I don't know. I'm just scared. Maybe it's going to be something terrifying. Maybe it's going to tear the world apart.
Maybe.
Like that evil ink that filled the printout, erasing coherence and meaning.
But maybe you're overthinking this. There's not really much for it but to see what comes out. You know? If it hasn't torn the world apart already, it probably won't just from listening to it.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just tired.
Maybe.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
Oh, look who comes slinking back to actually be useful again after fucking me over. Why assume that something that has no presence, existence, or qualities has to be terrifying?
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary.
I guess so. It's scary, but we just have to face it.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
She puts on her oversized headphones, ready to press unmute on the keyboard. That's the spirit, Suni girl.
The lieutenant takes a step back.
Well, no he doesn't, but... Oh, Kim. And then...
And then, nothing. Nothing happens as Sona Lokanen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary.
Well...
She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus. One hand cupping the headphone.
Well...
Damn it!
She lets out a loud sigh before tearing off her headphones. She's still avoiding your gaze. Well, at least the world seems to be still alright. Look around. Assuming it's not just slow acting. Or...
Yeah, nothing happened, let's move on.
Despite her fear, She was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
Yeah. Me too, kid. Me too. But let's be honest. Did we really expect anything different? What do you mean nothing happened? Exactly what it says. Did you find the swallow?
No.
She rests her face on her hands, massaging the forehead.
No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it.
And yet...
But this...
She raises her head, staring at all the machines that litter the church. Cables coiling up on the floor like pests.
This is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is.
Just another failure in this precarious world full of failures. This could never have ended any other way.
You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it?
Am I?
This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Legendary 14. Put on the headphones. 92%. +2. Cold and Mama Dakwa. +1 helping Egghead with his jam. The second one I understand, but... Technically I got a combined +5 from Cold and Mama Dakwa. Wait a second. There's no way. Surely not. Okay, I've gotta try this. Please let this fucking succeed. Please.
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace.
I didn't even need the +3.
And then the pressure changes.
What does it mean?
It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
Maybe. Suna. What if we just need a better sound system?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Well, now that you mention it, I might know of a group of people with a very powerful sound system that might be very keenly interested in setting it up in this very church.
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
Speak of the devil, and they shall appear,
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
murmurs the lieutenant, inspecting the damage done to the arabesques.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace.
Yes, but they could help with the speakers.
You mean the speed freaks?
She closes her eyes as more dance music invades the holy silence of the sanctuary.
Of course. The speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me?
They would, if you wouldn't mind them moving in with you.
I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Perhaps.
Brilliant negotiating there, detective. As always.
Oh yeah. Star Wars, baby. Great. I'll go talk to them then. I was afraid she was being sarcastic for a second there.
Sure. Let me know how it goes.
She lingers for a moment before adding,
Thanks, officer.
anytime, Suna. Anytime. Alright. Fucking A. Okay. Well, this is getting awfully long, but we can spare a little bit more time. Huh? The same address the lead programmer of Fortress Accident was looking for. Yeah, I'm aware. Good news! I managed to convince Suna. She's okay with you guys moving in, but on one condition. She needs your speakers for her project.
We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of Nordic dance music.
Alright. Good to see this side of negotiations were short. The Speed Freak smiles, happier than he's ever been before. You're going to have to share space for a couple of weeks until she gets her research finished.
That's fine. We can manage.
He grins, excited. That's the spirit.
And you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right?
You mean keeping out our little side business? You misspoke that. Oh, you mean the illegal drug lab? There'll be no shady shenanigans in the church. Only love and hypnotic dance music. Yeah. 100% sure.
Fine.
He seems disappointed.
We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later.
Andre waves to the other speed freaks.
Let's get moving.
Alright. And, well. That was quick. Well, I guess time is frozen, so that doesn't mean anything. Alright. Yo, any news?
Yes, what is it?
How's the project going? I see that your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is hypnotic dance music.
What?
She leans closer, eyes knitted together in a puzzled expression.
What did you say?
You can barely hear her over the thumping bass of hypnotic dance music. I said, how's the project going?
I can't hear you. The music is too loud.
She shouts, pointing at the enormous speaker that's churning out the sound. The project! How is it going?
Oh, the project! It's not going well.
Her face lights up for a second, before she gives you an exaggerated head shake. Why?
There's that guy.
She points at Egghead, who's raving behind his turntables on a brightly lit stage.
I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Egghead! A 3.5 cable! Into the auxiliary input! Okay?
She rises a black cable. Right, raises. Anyway. Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekukata! A place to be, apparently!
I'll speak to him. See what I can do.
Thanks! Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes!
She does jazz hands to mock him.
Let me know how it goes!
Alright, don't worry, I've got a way with Egghead. It'll be a piece of cake.
Glorious church! The place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Large speakers are set up behind the young man, blasting a familiar song.
A hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, tangled in its branches, something bronze flutters in the wind.
God damn it, I forgot to change outfit again.
He stands on stage behind a table, nodding along to the music and waving his hand in the air. In front of him, the audio mixer, one reel spinning. The other reel deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side you see an auxiliary line in with the number 4.5 written next to it.
Egg, can you please route Suna's signal through your speakers?
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
It's 3.5. No doubt about it. It's on the ground. Point to it.
Oh, she uses 3.5.
An uncomfortable pause follows.
Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Well, shit. Is there like an adapter or something?
Oh no.
The lieutenant closes his eyes.
We're going to be in this church forever.
Yeah, I feel you, Kim. This is just the side quest that never ends, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here.
Oh, thank God! He searches for the cable on the ground and picks it up, looking at the jack.
Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good people!
With a grin, he sticks the plug into the auxiliary line in. You hear a satisfying click. Huh. Okay.
Great! Someone got through to him! Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Egg! The music?
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the on for just a sec.
The young man shouts as he clicks a switch on the mixer.
For a special scheduled event.
Clicks a switch? Wouldn't that be flips a switch? Whatever.
The honor will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes, and then I'll turn off the music.
Alright. Okay. Finally. This fucking side quest that we kind of started... Shit, when was it? The first time we entered the doomed commercial area. That was the side quest that we started all the way back in July of last year in episode 18 of this series. Kind of.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, I talked to Egghead. He plugged in the cable. You can now unmute your speakers, and I can stop shouting. Perhaps we should warn them that it may or may not actually be a pleasant sound. And it may in fact tear apart the world. I'm sure that won't dissuade them from sticking around. In fact, it'll probably only encourage them.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
She seems hesitant, her eyes still fixed on Egghead.
Maximum!
Shouts Egghead, a great smile still adorning his face, larger than a red dwarf star. I'm not certain about that one, actually.
Maximum is the only way!
Yeah, maybe not.
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
I mean, maximum is relative after all. Obviously, if you had a speaker system powerful enough to blast people's eardrums out, you wouldn't want to put it all the way up to that. You want it to be the maximum that is actually safe to listen to, you know?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Well, maybe you don't. Okay.
See?
She turns to face you, ready to give up.
He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
Why do you want to turn down the volume?
Because I'm afraid that something might happen. It's an unknown phenomenon. We can always turn it back up if there's a need.
Can't turn down the hardcore!
I think what Egghead is trying to say here is that the volume button is stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
She shrugs, consigned to her fate. Well, science!
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
She looks around the church. Okay. Ready as we'll ever be. Let's do this. T-5.
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready.
Says Andre.
Ready.
Yells Noid.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
Oh, she doesn't get a... Alright. Ready.
The lieutenant nods stoically.
The RCM is ready and operational. Let's do this.
Not so stoically, his hand moves to the gun holster.
You're gonna shoot the swallow? I mean, maybe that'll help.
Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow.
I don't think that's because of the church. I think that's just because of my mother's spaghetti. Anyway. Sorry, Inland Empire. I'm no bitch. Okay. Ready.
5.
5, 4, 3,
3,
2,
1.
1. Lift off.
Mute disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle like crystal clattering in the cupboard fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder.
Says Noid, his eyes riveted on the strange circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
You hear Egghead yell, then something else, but his voice is growing faint.
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation.
It was in me at first.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
Glad you're excited about this.
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks as if she's alive. I don't see it.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
down to earth! Love!
It's shaken the building's foundation. The floor twists. A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
She reaches for the keyboard. Everybody, don't panic. It's beautiful. Yeah, we should stop. Suna, mute it. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. Start tapping your foot. Fuck it. We ball.
Oh, I want to feel the heat with somebody.
Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
Shit! It doesn't stop. Asil, have you?
The woman is furiously pressing down on her keyboard, but the sound doesn't stop. Has she what?
Yes, I've turned it off.
She yells, holding the contact mic in her hand. You can't stop the signal. You can't stop the signal.
The mic is nothing. This has nothing to do with Mike.
With Mike? It has nothing to do with Contact Mike? Nonsense. Everything has to do with Contact Mike. Wow. Glad I didn't take off my shivers gear.
Andre, pull the compressor! The place is gonna come down!
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here.
It's feeding into itself now, isn't it?
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop.
Yes.
This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Egghead! It's in the desk!
And then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore. You did good, Egg.
Andre breathes a sigh of relief and inspects the window.
Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
Please tell me we got something out of that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
22 people, millions of real. What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now.
She composes herself, wipes the dust off her sweater, and rests her hands on the keyboard. I sure hope I was recording that. Yeah, it looks like everything's nominal.
Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
Yeah, we know the face of our enemy, so to speak. Kim, did you hear that? I think everyone heard that, but... well...
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I've never heard anything like that. Or felt, for that matter.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically,
She shakes her head.
I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
Mathematical information. Does that mean...
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
I guess it can deafen us in more ways than one, then. You're going to write Solisla?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
Not the artist, though. Fuck them.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Sulispov. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Fair enough.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Maybe we have. Maybe the world has lost its mind. Well, the world doesn't have a mind. Never mind.
Yes. And we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez.
Oh, right, our job.
Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Well, I mean, I'm a detective. We're detectives, you know. We were detecting. Our job is all about finding the truth. No matter how obscure. Or something like that, anyway.
You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Huh. Is this another one of those things where I've already solved the case, but oblivioned myself? Hang on. Hey, got another point. Well, I'll hold off on that for now. Hang on. Now we stack logic. And by stack logic, I mean put on the 2 logic clothing items that we have. And if we fail, well, we have a free skill point, after all.
What is it?
Well, free in the sense of being freed up, not in the sense of not costing me anything. Alright, why is my drama at 7? Whatever. I'd say we've got pretty good odds. Heard of the doomed commercial area? Investigated doomed commercial... What? What does this have to do with the doomed commercial area? I guess we'll find out.
You don't have to.
Indeed.
You already have. A long time ago.
And again, exactly enough. We take those. And yeah, I figured as much. Wait, how?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind the kitchen table, in the evening light, drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend.
Suna, it is the origin point of the Pale.
What?
The swallow. It's how it starts. It's baby Pale. That sort of makes sense, but... Okay, yeah, I did think it might have something to do with the Pale, but how do you know?
But...
She looks up, and there's fear in her eyes as she considers the possibility.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
No. Look up first. We are 20 meters from the very edge. The Pale is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then, what is that?
It isn't.
It's nothing. No, It's less than nothing. No.
It's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all this never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply curdling milk.
But the milk, it clearly hasn't started curdling yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day, when it's larger, it will be.
I understand.
She closes her eyes.
A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world.
Yeah. It makes sense if you think about it, because, well, why else would there be these pockets of reality cut off from each other? Why wouldn't it simply be one big area of reality, surrounded by the Pale, eating away at it from all sides? There would have to be some reason why the world is being eaten away at unevenly for there to be those gaps between sections of it. Those gaps are a result of these metastasizations, these tumors, so to speak, erupting in points inside the world and then spreading outward and then creating divides as it reaches the outer Pale. This is one of those places. She's silent for a second. Then she opens her mouth.
According to this, how long?
Until it starts swallowing. It's already started. Starting with sound. That most ephemeral of things.
And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
It's possible that you got it backwards, that the church formed around it, but then again, the church was formed 300 years ago. But, well, it could very well have laid dormant for that long. Or much longer still. For all we know, the points where it pops up were already formed eons ago.
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them up. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM...
A good question, Kim. Not a wise one.
Knows how to think this.
It didn't form in a church. The church formed around it. That was my initial thought, yes. Perhaps it even has some kind of connection to... I mean, the proof is in the Crab Man, isn't it? Look at his devotion to it. His cultish addiction to it. Oh yes.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers.
Yes. Acting on an instinctual level, or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Yes. Indeed.
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
All the failed businesses in the doomed commercial area. All the failure in Martinez. Or some of it, at least.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development?
Mayhap.
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
If it can swallow up sound and information, what else might it swallow up? Eh? All the failed businesses and ideologies? There's something wrong here. No arguments there.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
Yeah. I should let people still working in there know about this. They might be affected.
You mean Plaisance and the Dice Maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
Yes, both of them deserve to know.
Then go tell them.
Right. I think I've had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yeah. Feels like every day here is the strangest day of my life.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
You know, I'm something of an anthroponetic scientist myself. One day, all the world will be like that 2mm hole. Mayhap?
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window, cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest, some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Nope. Well, the world is mad.
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
Thanks for the support, Kim.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
What's that supposed to mean? The club is the only thing keeping this place and the rest of reality together. Hey, it might even be true.
I wouldn't go so far as to...
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Oh, don't worry, Suna. He will.
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthroponetic detection to perform in this district.
Oh, right. Our job. Okay. Cleaning out the rooms. Somebody's been walking around in your dreams lately, looking for something. Tidying up, rearranging, storing away all the unrealized dreams, putting old pains in boxes. The worst nightmares have settled down for a while. A spot of light on the bedroom door after the dark. The fluttering of eyelids in the spring sun. A thought that arises, only to disappear again. And yet there's a pattern emerging. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Blessed silence once again. Ordinary silence, not whatever that was. Ugh. This is gonna be a long fucking episode, I can already tell. But I'm not cutting it. This is all going to be one fucking episode, come hell or high water. Probably gonna be 2 hours long, but it's gonna be... Wow. That was quite a lot. I don't even know what there is to say about all of that. So, yeah. That was that long-awaited side quest finally finished. I don't think it was at any point in time at all what I expected it to be. what it was, what it was. Or what it wasn't, perhaps. We helped start an hypnotic dance club music. We learned the mystery. We learned a lot about the mystery of Fortress Accident. And we carved out a little piece of the puzzle that is the world we live in. Or lack thereof. And we got this new tool, an upgrade to our pry bar. Yeah, today was a good day. So, until tomorrow, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
You're gonna be okay, kid.